Hi, I'm Raya, and I'm a recovering structure addict. Like most type A individuals, I thrive on structure, organization, and time specific tasks. Unfortunately, my need for structure got so bad that I started dreading quality time with my friends and family. Thankfully, I have found ways to stay organized that suit my personality, but those ways are no longer at the expense of anyone or anything. In this episode, I'm sharing 5 ways a type A personality, aka me, stays organized and sane. If you struggle with this, hopefully my tips resonate and my resources help you too. Now, before I dive in, I really need you to understand just how bad things got for me. Like I mentioned, my need to get things done made me not want to spend time with anyone. I'm so embarrassed to say that because it's absolutely ridiculous, but it's exactly what happened. I had so much to do and I'd schedule my time so tightly that when I was spending scheduled quality time with family, I'd be thinking about all the other stuff I could get done. A dinner out turned into a chore instead of fun vibes with my besties. And after recognizing how uncool it was to not enjoy the quality time I had with the people I loved, I made flexibility a priority. In fact, one of my affirmations at the time was, I give myself permission to be fluid and flexible. So I made this a priority and it has helped tremendously. And it prepared me to shift my focus to my mom when her health got worse. So thankfully, I had started recognizing that I needed to be more fluid and flexible long before my mom's health took a real dive. And what a difference it made. So here are the 5 ways this type A personality stays organized. Asana. If you don't know about Asana, I'm about to blow your mind, but I first became privy to Asana about a year or two after starting City Girl Savings, and now it is truly the hub for all things operations in my business. My tasks are there, my team's tasks are there. It also houses important dates, resources, and ideas. Asana is the ultimate task and project management tool. I will be sure to link to it in the show notes. They have a free version and a paid version. I still thrive on the free version. I've never had any issues. It's exactly what I need it to be, and I don't have to pay for it. It's crazy, but it's such a game changer. And while I think Asana is probably more impactful for business owners, it can also be leveraged for personal organization as well. I mean, you can add projects into Asana, and whether they're temporary or ongoing, you can add tasks that relate to each project. And you can set up your tasks to have recurring due dates, or they can be one-off tasks. This is incredibly important for me. We have a lot of recurring tasks in our business, so being able to set the tasks once and set the recurrence is a game changer. You can also assign the tasks to yourself. So if you want to kind of get away from maybe like a written to-do list or like a very basic to-do list, Asana can be your to-do list for you. You just add the tasks in, assign it to yourself, give it a due date, and Asana will constantly remind you of that task. What I also love about Asana is that you can filter and organize your Asana tasks by different views that are helpful for you and your personality. Like me personally, I leverage the list view on a daily basis just so I can quickly see everything that needs to get done for that day, but also for the week. So list view, as you can imagine, just lists everything, from when it needs to be due onward, right? So starting with anything past due and then anything due today or coming due in the next couple of days, you can see it all. On occasion, I'll leverage the calendar view if I want to see what my week or my month looks like at a glance. What's also cool about Asana is you can color code things. So when I use the calendar view, I know that my operational tasks are green and my client tasks are pink. So I can quickly see okay, is this going to be an operations heavy month or is this a busy client month? It's very cool. If you feel like your to-do list is never ending, a system like Asana can help you manage it all. You'll never forget another to do, and I promise you won't be disappointed. The next way I stay organized is with OneNote. So OneNote is a Microsoft product, and when I first took City Girl Savings full time, I found myself incredibly scattered with what I needed to do, what needed to be done, either one-off or on a day-to-day basis. And yes, my tasks were in Asana, so I had already been, leveraging Asana and loving it, but some days there were too many tasks in a day. Other days, there weren't enough tasks. And then I got some advice from my coach at the time who had suggested I set daily intentions. So I remember this vividly. I did a business coaching program and she offered one-off, one-on-one calls. And this was right when I was taking City Girl Savings full time and I was feeling scattered and I just had, I needed a system. So she said that my daily intentions should be the feelings I intended to have for that day, the top 3 tasks that I needed to get done for the day, and a reflection of what made me feel uncomfortable throughout the day. And I decided to use OneNote for this. So I had previously been using OneNote. I still use it to keep track of all my notes from my client calls or brand meetings, team meetings. But I recognize that it could also be very beneficial for my daily intentions. So every day, I create a new OneNote page in the applicable month section. So if you're familiar with OneNote, you have notebooks and then you have sections and then you have pages within the sections. So a section would be the month. So January 2024 would be the section, and then pages within that section would be January 1st, 2nd, 3rd, etc. So I name that page the day of the month it is. So January 2024, then the page in there would be January 1st, 2024. From there, I have a chart that needs to be filled out at the start and end of each day. So this chart has exactly what I listed, what the day is, what day of the week it is, what I want to feel for the day. So how I should be feeling about my intentions, the top 3 things I need to get done that day, and then a section for what did I actually accomplish. One thing that I actually added to my template not too long ago was the goals that I'm working on for City Girl Savings. So now when I create a new page and I use my template, a part of that template is the goals that I've set for City Girl Savings so I can see them every single day. So leveraging OneNote to keep track of my daily intentions has really allowed me to be clear on what I need to focus on each day, and I make it a point to prioritize the most important tasks first. So because I'm spending this time looking at, okay, what does my day look like? What needs to get done? I'm able to say, okay, this is the most important thing. Let's work on this first. And then if I don't get everything done, because sometimes that's life, right? I just roll over any tasks that aren't completed to the next day. From an organizational standpoint, this is a practice that has totally changed the game for me. Next way I stay organized is with digital calendars. Now, I'm so embarrassed to say this, but I did not fully leverage my iPhone and Outlook calendars until a few years into my business, and I'm kicking myself for it. Now, anytime I have an appointment set, whether it's personal or business, I immediately add it to my calendars. And remember when I said I was a recovering structure addict? Well, failing to properly use my calendars led to so much extra stress. For example, I would text past clients and schedule one-off calls via text message, but if I didn't take the time to add that call to my calendar, then I'd forget about it and I'd end up double booking myself. And then I would have to reschedule and just maneuver things. And it was so much self-inflicted anxiety that I could have avoided for myself. Thankfully, that's a thing of the past. Now, no matter what, I always make sure my digital calendars are always up to date. It's totally second nature to me now. One thing I do also leverage is Acuity. So Acuity is an appointment scheduler, if you will. So when people want to get on my calendar, I send them my Acuity link and they can select a day and time that's available for me to take calls. So you may remember in one of the previous episodes, one thing that I am working on as far as a next level habit is getting a calendar system in place that allows me to have calls 2 to 3 days a week and then work on the business 2 to 3 days a week. And having Acuity really helps me have a schedule that people can abide by that's my own, right? So I can say I'm not available Tuesdays or Thursdays for calls, and people don't even have the option to select that time to speak with me. So it's definitely been helpful. There's still some work I need to do. I'm a little too flexible with my calendar, and it usually bites me in the butt. So there's work to be done here, but digital calendars have totally changed the game. Next thing that has helped me stay organized is batching. And if you haven't heard of batching, I'm truly going to blow your mind. Batching is the process of scheduling similar tasks to be completed in one sitting. This means that like your dedicated hours or days are spent completing the same tasks just for months in advance. So a perfect example of this is writing blog articles for City Girl Savings. So personally, I batch my City Girl Savings blog articles. That means that 1 week every quarter is dedicating to writing articles for the next quarter. It takes me a few days to get 1 quarter's worth of articles written, but that means I won't have to worry about writing any more articles until the next quarter. So I just dedicate my time that week to getting as many articles written as I possibly can, and then I don't have to worry about it for a couple months, and then I do it again and again and again. I also do this with podcast episodes. So I batch record episodes 1 month at a time. So, January podcast episodes, I record them all in one sitting. And that means that, I don't have to record podcast episodes every single week. I can batch them all in one sitting, and then I don't have to worry about it for a month. Now, batching is helpful for a few reasons. First, it allows you to get things done in advance. This can be really beneficial, especially if you have like a trip coming up or like a busy season and you just want to be ahead and not have to worry about getting certain things done during that time. Another way it's helpful is it keeps you focused on one task at a time. I'm not sure if you've heard this, but multitasking actually isn't that good, right? Because you put your focus on one task, then you switch to the other, then you switch back, and you're not giving it 100%. Whereas when you batch, you are just doing that one task over and over and over, getting you enough stuff done for a certain amount of time, then you can shift your focus to something else. So it's really good if you want to fully immerse yourself in something that needs to get done and then not have to worry about it for a while. So when I batch, let's say I batch writing articles. After I write one article, I'm already in the zone, right? So it makes sense that I would continue writing articles because I'm already in this mode. I prepared myself for it. I may as well keep going. The beauty of batching too is that it doesn't have to just be for business. It can be implemented in any area of your life, whether it's, your career, your health, your business, your closet, right? Use batching to get similar work tasks completed. Use it to get personal or home chores done in advance. So maybe you batch cleaning all the toilets today, and then you don't have to worry about it for a couple weeks, right? You can leverage it in just about any area of your life. And obviously, I highly recommend if you have a business or a side hustle, you leverage it so that those responsibilities are covered. Now, if you want to just get started with batching, I suggest you try it on a small scale and then start taking it up a notch. I promise you'll see how much better planned and organized you are when you actually batch your stuff you need to get done. And the final way this type A personality stays organized, checking out. So checking out mentally helps me stay organized. And hear me out, because you're probably like, what? But having that mental reset is such an important part of the grind. there was a point in my life where I could only check out when I would literally take trips. So when I would leave Austin to go on vacation, that was the only time I could check out. I couldn't check out at home. I couldn't check out over the weekends. I'd want to work on my business. I'd be thinking about my business. This was especially hard for me when I was working full-time in corporate while trying to build City Girl Savings. I would take corporate calls during the day and City Girl Savings calls at night. I would work on the weekends to get my business stuff caught up. I would schedule City Girl Savings calls during work hours. It was just a mess. And I had no time to check out on a regular basis. And unfortunately, it led to burnout. Now, I don't regret it. And here's why. Because although it was stressful and although I was burning myself out, it really helped me get to where I wanted to be faster. But I don't recommend doing it for long periods of time, and I don't recommend this being the norm. Now, I make sure that I check out on a regular basis. One thing that has helped is having the City Girl Savings office space. So when I worked from home, it was very hard for me to separate work and personal, right? Because I work in my personal space. So I just open the door and think about laundry, think about the dogs, what am I going to eat, right? So it was very hard for me to kind of separate the two, even though I did it for years. But now that I have the City Girl Savings office space, if I really need to focus on work, I go to the office and get work done. And then when I go home, I check out. But like I said, I don't regret that period of, grind and not checking out because it did help me get where I want to go. But now I try not to plan anything on the weekend. So unless it's like a big project or a launch, I usually use the weekend to just decompress and, enjoy time with friends and family. Sometimes I also try to be fluid with my schedule. If I get an unexpected call to go have coffee, I don't want to have to worry about it impacting something else. So I'm just really doing a better job of saying yes to things that are not work related so that I can kind of take a break mentally from work. It's definitely made a huge difference. And I really think that checking out gives your mind the break it needs to come back feeling rested, recharged, and ready to go. Almost like, we end our week on Friday, relax Saturday and Sunday, and Monday it's like, okay, I can do this. Let's get to work. Keep yourself sane and organized by taking the mental breaks you need. Trust me, you will thank me later. Learning how to check out more regularly and not having to use a vacation to do it has really helped me stay organized, stay motivated. So let me just say that if a type A personality like myself can stay organized while keeping her spirits up, so can you. So hopefully this list of tricks and resources that help me can do wonders for you too. Good luck, you got this, and if you have any type A personality tips, tricks, resources that help you, make sure you leave a review or drop me a comment on Instagram or in the Facebook group and share them with me because I'm always looking for ways to stay on top of the stuff I need to do. So thanks so much.